Get daily updates directly to your inbox. Subscriber. Thank you for subscribing. Cold not subscribe. Try again later. Invalid email. A man who was dragged barefoot from his front door and beaten has died after spending 2 years in a coma as a result of the attack. Matthew Sheehan was 34 when he was pulled into the street in Cardiff by 15-stone Raymond Anthony Burrell, who punched, kicked and stamped on him. The attack, on September 1, 2015, was in a dispute over a barking dog. Burrell, now 40, had been irritated by Mr. Sheehan complaining about his cross-Staffordshire Bull Terrier's barking. He dragged his victim, who walked with a stick and was without his glasses, into the street before attacking him, reports Wales Online. Mr. Sheehan was left with fractures to nose and one eye socket, swelling to his mouth, and bruising to both sides of his brain, as well as bleeding caused by blood vessels being stretched and torn. He also had marks to his body consistent with him being dragged, like those seen on somebody who has come off a motorbike, and there was the imprint of a shoe. A pathologist told Burrell's trial there had been significant force used. The court was also told Burrell walked away from his victim but then returned to where he had left him, lying in a pool of blood, and attacked him a second time, so he would not be able to testify to what happened. In April 2016, Burrell was given a life sentence by Judge Paul Thomas QC with a recommendation he serve a minimum 8 years before being allowed to apply for parole. A jury had acquitted him of attempted murder but convicted him of causing grievous bodily harm with intent. During the trial, his victim was described as having been left with horrendous injuries to his head and body. The judge said Burrell, who had previously shot and killed his girlfriend, had a volcanic temper and a callous indifference to human life. Speaking during the court case, Mr. Sheehan's father Martin said his son had been left in a vegetative state. While he can now breathe unaided for a short time each hour, he is still on oxygen, has a breathing tube, and is having to be regularly medicated to stave off infections. He cannot recognize friends or family, and we've been told the doctors expect him to be totally reliant on medical care for many years to come, meaning he won't be able to do anything for himself. The life he had has been taken away by Raymond Burrell. We can't believe Raymond Burrell has put us through such agony. It's like he put us in hell when he hurt and left Matthew for dead. Then he dragged us through hell during the trial. In effect, he doubled our suffering. Mr. Sheehan added, all we can do is hold his hand. A police spokeswoman said on Tuesday, we are aware of the sad passing of Matthew Sheehan, 36, on Thursday, November 9, at the University Hospital of Wales, Cardiff. The South Wales Police Major Investigation Team is now liaising with Mr. Sheehan's family, the Crown Prosecution Service, and him coroner in respect of his death. Anyone with information is asked to contact South Wales Police on 101 or Crime Stoppers anonymously on 0800 555 111. Quoting occurrence number 1,500,321,067. Mr. Sheehan had a condition known as cerebellar ataxia which caused him to be unsteady on his feet and to use a crutch when he went out speaking. At the time of Burrell's conviction, the family said their lives had been turned upside down by the attack. It is difficult for us to understand how someone could inflict such horrific injuries on another person, more so on a vulnerable person who can't even defend themselves. And when it is your own flesh and blood it has happened to, it is even harder to deal with. After the trial, the family vowed to put their focus into being with and helping Matthew. Burrell had previously been jailed for 7 years for shooting his teenage girlfriend through the heart. Cardiff Crown Court accepted his guilty plea at the time to a charge of manslaughter after hearing a gun, which Burrell had on him illegally, was discharged accidentally. During the incident in 1993, Amy Miles, 17, was shot outside a flat in the Grangetown area of the city. After returning from her part-time job as a barmaid, the jury in that trial heard Burrell left the scene, leaving his dying girlfriend to call an ambulance. The court heard when Burrell was just 16 he stabbed 2 nightclub doormen in Cardiff after being refused entry to a club.